I just kind of threw this high pressure line on here. Got it kind of bent. The hose will go over this way. I'm wondering if I need flexible hose. I'm not sure if I want it to go this way or if I want it to come out like this and curl down in front and then go up underneath this way and avoid going over the exhaust. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research. I got out the bale wire here to make myself a length stencil, something, and I got my high pressure line. Obviously that plugs in right there, and then this end plugs into the power steering pump. And then these two guys are the return, and they go something like that, and I put like that. They come over here to the cooler, goes in front of the old radiator. Obviously all that's gone. I just pulled this out for reference as to which ones go to which. One flew up over here to that guy, and the other one flew in there, and one was a return line. So I'm just kind of pulling out the old system and seeing how it used to be and what I'm going to need to manufacture. Alright, figured I might as well just grab the whole damn system. So obviously that guy lived right there. This went to the power steering pump. This went to the power steering pump. These went to the cooler that went across here. These all got split back. Those are going to those lines, which plug into this backside right here. That also goes around, plugs in the backside, falls the same as these, and the backside of that guy. So that is the entire power steering system. Minus the cooler, which is over here somewhere in this pile. Looking at this power steering here, you can see where the return and thing there, and on the right there, coming down at an angle, there's the high pressure on the bottom there, and the return and the cooling lines are, sorry, this is difficult, right there. So all I gotta do is figure out that one from the bottom over, and then figure out the return one, and then block off the third one, and then figure out which one it is. Well, I guess turning down my light doesn't stop the video. Alright, so to figure this out, make it a little easier on myself, I broke out the, this is the 89, same damn thing. So that's where this stuff goes in relation to the pump. This is a light green, it's a dark green, it's a dirty finger. It's brown, obviously. I'll show you something else here. Let's see, looks like it's just one page in. From the cooler, the big boy. Oh, hold on. Alright, that's better. So you can see the blue, the brown, and the teal. There it is again. And the blue, the brown, and the teal. So that comes in. And shooting on down to 1757 here. Excellent year. And boom! Here's a close-up version of the blue. You can see from pump to reservoir to oil cooler. And those colors do correspond back to this page. Alright, so going over this, staring at it, over this, I've come to the realization that the brown and green ones are now completely unnecessary. So the green one being this guy down here, the big boy. So I need the little one, which is the return. So I need that little one right there, not the big one. That needs to be a line that goes to this right here, and that one happens to be from cooler or control unit. From control unit. It's a little long. So that guy goes into that return, and then the high pressure line, this one, goes to the big boy on the back, which you already know. That one. So that one goes to this one, and that little one goes to this one. Bing! There, I figured it out. All I had to do was break out my crayons, break out the old Crayolas, do a little coloring, and I figured it out. Basically, I wanted to get this on here so I could see what kind of clearance I was going to be having with this. And what I'm kind of hoping to do is run it down and through the bumper support itself, and then back out its original hole, either down here or under the well. But either way, bring it back down and around to that guy. Something like that. I gotta figure that out. That's probably gonna be my next thing now that I got this mocked up and I can figure out exactly how much I need. Especially after going through and figuring these guys out yesterday. I did pull all these hoses off. This is Volvo power steering Resivour. That one on top. You can see where I'm getting with this. Return, the high power. So I can bring these to high flow, precision, motion and flow, and have them bust me out a couple of quick hoses, so I don't even have to think about it really. So I just got to get the lengths for that, and then I can figure out what I'm going to need in order to get those attached. Get a plug for the third one, call it a day on that. Do a little bit of wiring. I've been thinking about some wiring projects going on. I got this guy pulled off of that, looking at the kind of gauges I got going. I don't have the same gauge, but it's close enough as to where it'll work. It's 12 volt, 80 amp, no biggie. I do have an 80 amp. It's going to be going on here somehow. I'm going to fix that. It's an 80 amp fuse, marine, so it's waterproof and that's right. Nice Bossman one or Bosch or whatever the heck it is. Brand name. So yeah, I got those guys done, dealt with. Alright, so I went ahead and got my headlights installed in here to see what kind of room I'm working with. Still looking good on the entrance and exit down here. Up here, looks like I'm going to have to maybe cut this down a little bit. I'm not sure yet. It's pretty flush right there with that. So we did a 90, we come up. Have to come off. Has to be a pretty short 90 to shoot over here. So that's just gonna go up to the reservoir tank, which will live right here. It's gonna be one of those. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking like. This thing is still hella sturdy, and I still haven't even strapped this thing down all the way yet. But so for right now, I need to figure out my lengths. So I got my baling wire out here. What I did was I took these main parts, power steering, high pressure line at pump, so right there, and then my return line, which is the one that's right there, that hose, and then the reservoir hose. Took them off and labeled them so that I know I'm gonna need this line to that line right there, and yeah, but I need to figure out the length first, which is what this stuff is for. So where I bent it here, where I got it bent down there, is where I have the hydraulics. Everything in between. It turns out it's like 7 feet exactly. So, alright, oh, zoom! Alright, so I got this marine grade bus here. I had thought about putting it down here. but I decided against that because I tried it, and that hole is like double walled, and it's a little too close to this thing to get the drill in flat. I don't know, it just seemed pointless. So now I'm kind of thinking over here, it'd be a lot easier to install right there, something like that. I don't know, gonna have to do some thinking, but it's here. All right, so I moved this back down over here. Decided to give it another shot. Put a rib nut in there, add that guy, measured it out, put another rib nut, and I'm going to throw an Allen head on there with the thing. No thread lock yet in case I need to move it or take it off, but yeah. And there it is. Inside. I have no idea how the inner lining is going to be affected by that, but I was running gutter tube from here down here for fresh air. So I know that's a gap. Where it clips on, I'm not sure. Probably here, there. I'm not sure what the void is with that, but still not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this. I had actually contemplated, I wonder if it's sitting right here, the rubber grommet that came with these actually almost fits perfectly in there. And if I were to use that area for a, here it is, this guy. It actually lives on the inside of the car on the floor, but it's got the grommet on it. Yeah, it's styrofoam. But you see a little bit of trimming, it might work. The under, you can see like the curvature of it and stuff. I could technically just seal it on me. If I was gonna do that, I might as well just make a custom gasket kind of thing. And have the reservoir tank up here, which is gonna be one of those. I don't know. Gotta figure that out, but for now, that's on there. Alright, so it has been a bit since I've been able to work on this guy, mainly because I've been waiting for this dude to get done. That is the part off of the power steering Volvo power steering pump, and this is off the 96. Well, used to live right there. Now lives here. The guy here in Seattle is knee bar. Bruce down at knee bar. It was amazing. Yeah, I cut it. You can see he welded it. I don't think that's in focus very well, but he did an amazing job on this. Just amazing. Custom jobby. Right there. It's got a swivel on here for me so I can put it in the old direction I want. Dang it. Enjoy my beaded seat cushion for a second. So yeah. Basically just welded this guy. Gave me a nice AN fitting on there. Boom. Hose is good to 3,250 PSI, which is plenty more than I need. Right, so after running it through here, down into there, a couple different spots, even try to flip it around, running it that way. Coming underneath up in here. It was way too long, I had way too much, I would have had to loop big time. So I'm kind of stuck with my original plan of going in front, which is fine. But then trying to figure out how to sneak it in here, moving it back and forth and whatnot, I was kept getting it caught on this. So I just spent about 10 minutes taking off a couple chunks of that and with the old Dremel, and then hitting it up the angle grinder to get rid of any sharp edges. I also took this edge down. If there's anything sharp over here that could rub against that hose I took out. Sharp edge right here, because I'm going to plan on having it come right here. So get the fixture on there and show you what it looks like. Alright, so for right now, I've managed to finagle into position here. It is outside underneath, fly by up and through. Right here, where this bolt is going to be another one of these, which I have to get appropriate sized ones for. And that's going to live up there a little bit, so that'll go straight across the radiator, hopefully cooling it down a little bit. And then passes through the former power steering hole, which I got to get a rubber grommet for, so that doesn't chafe on that. And another one of these, and then probably under where the axle will be going through. I reckon once there's pressure on that, this will be going farther up, and the axle will actually pass right through. I will cross that bridge when I get to it, whether or not I need to go up or over something. I don't think it'll go over. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to go under. But for right now, power steering pump hose pressure, high pressure one. That's where that guy's living. You can see how I got it. I had to bend it just a little tiny bit to get it to go, but nothing is fully tightened down yet, just loosely haphazard. Yeah, trying to figure out what to do next. I did get my other reservoir for this guy. Same exact thing as that. This one's gonna live over here. Probably gonna hide that big hole with it. Or at least try to. So that guy will live there. And that'll drain out of this dude into this dude. But I gotta get a different thing going for that. My other kit, my Willwood kit, came with the other one I bought. Came with an actual hose and an AN fitting on it. It belongs there. So this might be able to finagle something into this guy, which is what it originally is. So I don't think it'll squeeze in there. I'll pull it out and take a look. That's definitely too loose, but kind of get the idea of what I'm thinking there. If I can, it'd be nice to use this because I got no other use for it. I was supposed to use it for this, going in there, but I didn't. So now I might be able to use it for that. We'll see. It should just be being able to bust it down to something that size. Get it on that. I don't know why I stopped the video. I literally just need to move 3 inches. If I do it in here, Tube Town. Welcome to Tube Town. I thought I had a bunch of like brand new 5/8s from something else. If I do, I'm not seeing it in this box. Hey, what the fuck is that? It's a tube. Holy shit, there's a tube in it. All kinds of tubage. There's even a check valve for a brake booster. Alright, well, I'll figure that out. Alright. There she be after a lot of back and forth and figuring it out. Yeah, so let me go ahead and throw this sucker on here. Alright, there's that. You can see I got this guy going behind. Probably gonna bend it around a little bit, whatnot. It's not pushed all the way in yet, so I don't know exactly where, but you can see I got that guy on there. Contacted nice and good. It's square underneath the tab there, you can see that. And down here, there was already a 10mm bolt hole right there for God knows what. At this point, I have no idea. But sanded that down really good, and then put that guy on there. So had to step it up or down a gauge depending on how you look at it. The wire, I think it came with 6, and I had to put 4 on there or something. Or it came with 4, and I had to put 2. I don't even remember. Whatever I have, a shit ton of this stuff. And this stuff. Old battery run stuff. But now I gotta keep going here. Gotta run this. I'm wondering if I have enough red to run it all the way back to the battery, or if I should just run it right to the battery terminal right there. That's probably gonna be the one to do. I don't think I have enough to get all the way back there, but Now if I want to stay red, definitely have enough black. I got like a bunch more sitting over here. That's probably what I'm going to do. It's because I don't want to break out any more sticker wire. That's probably about enough. Just gotta get over the wheel. That might be just perfect, or it's gonna be 1 inch too short. Alright, so I got some stuff here. I got a 90-degree tube cutter. My plan is to go 90 degrees right off the top of that, very short. And I'm gonna have a 5/8 to 1/4 inch hose reducer right there, and then that'll flow into this, which will go into the reservoir, which is that thing right there. I'm waiting on Amazon. I brought my RivNet tool to work, so I'm waiting on Amazon to bring me my backup one. I can put those guys in there, and then I'll have that ready. And then I just need to, I'm going to head down to the hardware store. I got to get an eye bolt and for my fire suppression, which is another video thing coming up. And then, so I need an eye bolt that screws into the back of that. So, and my reducer. So I'm going to go to the hardware store for that, but I'm waiting for the RivNet tool to get here. Because it's, I don't want it to get stolen off my perch. I also got myself, so I could start with the engine mounts, a thread chaser kit. Tap and die thread chaser. So, I'm official. I'm gonna run these guys down, get all everything that has paint on it. Need the bolts that have paints on them. Mainly just that one. I really just want to get that one. That's why I got it, but it can't hurt to have 6, 8, 10, a couple 10s and a bunch of 12s just laying around. So, and it's only like 26 bucks. I'm not looking for anything magical. I don't need a $50 snap-on one or a $100 snap-on one. Anyways, yes, waiting, power steering. Gonna start working on this guy. So I just realized I got a couple pieces of 5/8 tubing right here from this Mishimoto silicone coolant tube that will probably work just fine actually. If I can get a curve on that, something. If that doesn't work, I'd be able to make something out of this right here, probably, definitely. And that way I can return this $13 tube. This here $13 tube. It's a good tube, but I don't need it. I didn't think I had those. Alright, Amazon just showed up with my RivNet tool. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those guys in there. I got those dudes in there. Very easy. Actually, kind of like that one better than the one I have, which is unfortunate. But, that thing's all ready to go back. Just gonna go ahead and return that right away. Whoever buys that next, thank you for letting me borrow it before you bought it, before you even knew you bought it. And yeah, time to get that thing on there. Sweetness. Stick it in there. I had to not use this piece because it turns out I don't have an AN fitting that size. I have smaller and bigger, but not that size. So I just put this pipe on here, put the clamp on there. Basically just nice and tight right there. Looks great. Come down here underneath the headlight there. Come right here. So I got the other end of that. I don't know where to cut it yet. Since I already crimped this on there so nice, I don't want to maybe be able to reuse this. Probably around here ish. That's where I got it. I got the cut this dude up. Get this thing ready. So you can see that'll be right there. Not quite like this. Well, anyways, it'll be right there. It will fit once it's on there. And then this tube, so I'm just gotta go to the store and get the reducer from that to that, and then the reservoir will be set. After that, I've got this tube here, but you can see how rough that this piece is right here, where the tube comes out. This piece of metal right there is super sharp. I do have the tubing for it, and I already pulled off the other end. Figure out where I want to cut that, and add the tubings onto that as well. So good to go. I'm basically just waiting on this point to finish up the reservoir tank is for that coupler, whether I order it or go to the store and buy it. I gotta go to the store anyways, so I'll probably just walk the extra 50 feet and see if they have one. Maybe. Hopefully they do, so I can button that up, maybe get the entire power steering done today, with the exception of running the wires. Alright, so I've got the I'm done grinding. I was able to smoke a little bit, so no coffee. You can see got that all nice and ground out. That shouldn't have any problem. Still gonna wrap the tube in probably something. Find something kind of. I think I've got some bigger tubing I can shove over that right for that one little spot right there, just to make sure it's good. But all right, then pull this guy out. You can see that it's getting a little. Look, I thought I heard something. Anyways, you can see here where I still need to grind a little bit of that back. I use my magic pin here to mark around it and whatnot for the spot where I'm going to add the extra piece, but I definitely need to get rid of that top chunk there for sure. So I thought now might be a good time to throw the bumper on, check my clearances. I suddenly got very claustrophobic right after I put it on. I sat there and I was like, man, I'm getting sitting here all of a sudden. I feel like it's really starting to get, Anyways, got it bolted on with 3 of these guys to make sure it fit. It's still nice and loose. Let's do it down here. It's good. It's gonna go up a little bit more. I'm gonna figure out a way to get these both to come up and hang off of this hole right here. That hole right here. Keep factory mount. And they'll come underneath where they're not touching the frame at all. Make sure they're nice and tight there. And then come back up. And this one will be over. This will be on top of the other one. And then loop down through there and cart through that factory hole, which I can't remember. Oh, that's the power steering original. This thing, or this guy was in front of the radiator. That came through right there and plugged into those 2 holes, which went back to them 2. Anyways, I'm not loving this being up here. I'm not really a fan of it being all the way down here either. I'm trying to figure something out before I make anything permanent, but I may move this down there, have it more flush, and then hang it up over here as well or something, so it's not resting on anything. I don't know what it's going to look like with the suspension and the axle on there yet, so I gotta figure that out as well. So, yep. Alright, whipped up a little. I didn't feel like zip ties were going to do it, so I threw a bunch of cloth tape on where I wanted to keep them together where they crossed over. Did a bunch of crossing on there, and then I put this guy on there where it pumps into this dude. Came off a little bit when I was yanking on it, but as you can see, just a little aircraft wire crimped on there, 16th inch. Yeah, I believe that'll hold it much better than any zip tie system I could come up with. Speaking of which, that's next down here. Probably gonna end up doing pretty much the same kind of deal I did right here. As far as this thing goes, we'll see. I gotta figure out. don't want it rubbing against anything up here, so I gotta figure out where exactly it's gonna live. Alright, so you can see here I got the old return line back on there. It just kind of, it bent down like this, straight out. So I bent it back a little bit. I'm debating whether or not to cut it and make it straight right there, or leave like that much on and then bend the hose up into it. As you can see, I unattached this and brought this hose from up here down, from where this is to where this one is. Jesus. And so I think I'm going to leave that there. I didn't really want it to be so on the ground, but when I think about it, it's just another inch or so. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna do a little brainstorming, get some Janis Joplin going, and just kind of figure out ever so slightly how I want to bend this. Alright, so looking at this guy, up here like this. I think I'm just gonna have it come up, meet it somewhere in the middle. Sorry. Alright, so I got the hose coming right underneath like that. I think I'm just gonna have it meet up somewhere in the middle there. That way it'll give me a little, in the future if I want to cut it farther up or all the way back, I can do that. But for here I'm gonna leave plenty of hose here just in case I do want to go up a little bit. Plus that'll protect it from this. The more hose I leave it on here, the more it'll protect it from wherever I'm gonna have to place it. Which might be something like this. So you see how I have to curve around. And you'll see what I do. Alright, so this pipe doesn't splice into that quite right. So I used Focus, some of this fuel line right here to plug that hole quite nicely. I know it's out of focus. This isn't the actual piece, it's just for demonstration purposes. Now I'm going to plug this guy in and reconfigure where I'm going to cut my hose. Because this does not want to slide up. I actually managed to get a little bit longer of a piece on there, so now I'm going to go down there and see where I got to cut it. Alright, so holding this up, I'm trying to hold this up. You can see where I'm getting this kind of S shape here that I don't want. Thought about bending it back, try and save it, and that might alleviate some of this S going on here. So I kind of just want to chop it off right here, bring the hose directly here, and just have it bend back out towards the camera a little bit more. Call it a day. Alright, got that dude down there. You can see it's pretty flush in there. I'm happy with it, considering I just about gave up on it for the night. So I bent this a little bit, cut it farther back, bent it. It goes to about here. The tubing goes a little bit, or the metal tubing goes a little bit further than the 1/4 inch inside tubing, but there we go. So I'm going to get it on there and figure out which orientation it needs to be relaxed in the hose down here. Alright, sucker's on there. I got it crimped, got it tipped almost horizontal, I guess you could say. Coming out sideways and shooting down like these guys are looking like this. I can't see it. Over there. They're my good pants, not my. I went to like 2 stores and then I just got lazy and didn't change my pants. Alright, so there's all that crap. And back in here, background down here to where this is, over hill. Probably gonna end up doing something like that. Yeah, we'll see. I'll take a little break, see if I want to finish this today or tomorrow, because it is already kind of late. I'm feeling a little lazy. Gotta save something for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Obviously, I love to work on holidays. So, yeah. But I got this little thingamajigger, thingamajiggy. Something that doesn't sound racist. Got that coming in the mail. Actually, 3 of them. I only wanted the one, but I'm getting 3 of them. So that guy, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna take a break. Okay, so I'm out front here. Just repeated what I did over there. This guy ran it through the bolted hole on the side. I feel like that's good. This is still gonna get tape and probably some kind of foam padding or something to keep it from rubbing too much. You can say I'm not worried about it. It's not any kind of sharp edge, but and then of course right here did the exact same thing. So it's just gonna be kind of floating right there. If it ever breaks, not a big deal. It'll be supported here. And I'm also gonna be doing that over here somewhere. Not sure where. I have to get the bracket first, but I definitely need to get some protection around this hose. I want something heavy duty, metal and rubber, sitting right there. Excuse me. I'm not even exactly sure where this is gonna go to. I had it attached here. Took that off. So it's gonna need to. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna get it over there. This has plenty of play in it still. These aren't tightened down or anything. I can't do that. Yeah. So, still plenty of play. Lots of give and take still going on. But, really happy with the progress that I've made today. Very much so. Very much happy with the progress. Yeah. Alright, I got my little package sent from Portugal to Gumption, and that contained a dial, skinny, which happens to fit perfectly into this pre-cut little hole from the previous owner for the little flashing beeping car alarm light. So I just got to cut that down a little bit to make that fit a little better. Have it pop out the other side. Tuck in there nice like that. Basically just going to get rid of the centerpiece. And then the other portion of it is the relay with some wires. I'll get to that in a second. And these come down here to the 3. I've already kind of just pre-routed it. So that's basically the same as the factory one here. Different newer wires, same gauge, whatever, maybe a little thinner. But so yeah, that guy will plug in there. I got it routed up around. Go through like this, following this black ground cable, or the other power. The other side of the power. This is power, not ground, even though it's black. To the relay, which I'm going to stuff in right here, and then from there we've got these 4 wires which need to go at power at the ignition, so it's not constantly running. And this one is the dial, that's the ground somewhere close to the ignition, and then the other dial, power and ground. So there's the dial ones. And then all 4 of those, I went ahead and made a extremely long piece, probably 12 feet or so. Give myself plenty of room. Give it a quick little twist. Nothing tight. Just wanted to be able to thread it through a lot easier. I'm not going for any kind of concentric or anything. So the next step is to throw some riv nuts on, get that guy on there. I was thinking about de-pinning this and putting some of this pass through on there. I don't think I want to do that. I might in a minute. I'll decide if I'll take a peek at it and see if it's easy, but for right now I need to get some riv nuts in there. So I got the relay put on now. The 3 wires going back to the control, and then I got these 4 sitting right here, ready to be attached to these 4 right here. So that's going to be the next step, and then I can run these guys into the cabin. Myself already here. Got a little twist going to this. My things are on there. I'm gonna trim these guys down, and I got my soldering station. Yeah, get these put together. Any Hoosiers. Boy, don't that look pretty, huh? Alright, so we got the power going to the 80 amp. And then we got the controller going up here. More power and controller until it gets over here where it meets controller and power and ground. A bunch of strain relief in here. As you can see, it's all pretty much buckled down. I did put this soundproof sound dampening on here. Haven't really pushed it down yet, but it's just for like chafing gear pretty much. Keep it from rubbing on the metal. And then clean this up a little bit, and then got it running there. And this is cop horn and fog lights. Wait, I gotta figure out where the hell I'm gonna put the cop horn. I don't have any room for that shit. Alright, so I did get this guy. You'll notice it's flatter on that side, or less tall. So, the barb tool I got fits in here perfectly. But then I ordered a 1/4 inch, thinking the inside diameter was that. Let's see, it's close. But I want something more along the lines of like 5/16, something like that. So, I ordered another one. I don't remember exactly what I ordered, but it's the very next size up. 1156 or something, I can't even remember what it was. But yeah, so that'll be going on there. And then I can get that tubage, and then that will be taken care of. Ordered another one, it'll be here tomorrow. So then that'll live right there. I really want to get that guy on there. It's almost just where it stands. Screw it. But doing it right, might as well do it right. In the meantime, I can get rid of a little bit of this plastic here and see how close I can get that dude on there. Yeah, that was going beautifully until I snapped it in half. That thing was fitting perfect in there. I just needed to extend it a little bit for the size of that hole. It's so irritating. Kind of see it, right? Can you see it? Yeah, you can kind of see a little crack, a little bit of glue. There you go. That on, you'll never notice it. It's just gotta dry a little bit. And I flooded the back pretty good with it as well. And then made a nice little base for it. Basically covered the whole bottom in it so that it creates like a backing plate sort of super glue. And I put this guy through, and that. Yeah. Just turned it all the way to the left. It was pointed like up over here, so I just pulled it off. Set it down as close to dead. It won't go straight up and down. It goes a little bit off to the right. So I'd rather have it a little off to the left. It won't go all the way down, but it was that far up. It's quite a dial. It's like 200 and probably 300 degrees. I don't know what that is, but good clearance. nice and tight. Gonna let that dry for quite a while. And then, yeah. Shit, yeah, it's cool. Alright, so I got the wiring running. You can see the 4 wires right there in the middle of the red, yellow, gray, and black. Running down and around behind. Down through, and you can't see it right there, but anyway, this goes back with the ECU wires yonder over. I'm gonna end up tying that in with the car alarm keyless entry stuff. This is all my crap for remote start and cruise control shit that I don't need, but I'm not gonna clip the wires just yet. So that's where that's gonna live. It's gonna go up there, and then obviously I have it's gonna go right into this hole right here, which it has dried up nicely and looks great. So that gray and that yellow make you nice and dizzy, spinning around here. That gray and that yellow are gonna tie into this gray and this yellow. And this red and this black are going to tie in with this red and this black, which will give me key on power. Actually, I might not do that. I think this is always on. Yeah, that's always on, and this is ground. So ground, and then probably run the just any old thing that key on power. You know, any of these radio plugs or anything like that. So as far as the controller goes, there's that. Now I just got to hook up the main power over there. This is my main power coming out right there. I already cut it. I might install another one of these. Probably not. I'll probably just trim this end and get it shoved down in there. Right there. So I got it fished back through and pulled to the length I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim it up, clip it down, and get it in there. Yeah, buddy. That is in there. Doesn't get more in there. Yeah, nice. Out of focus, extreme close up. So, yep. Got full power now from the battery. This main one, big red one underneath down here, is direct from the battery. That where I pulled that power, where I put that power cable in, was the one that goes to the engine bay. So that goes to the starter, or rather it connects to this guy. One of these wires right here. So not a biggie. All right, now the wiring is completely done. I have this guy, and I bought a new one of these dudes. So I will be able to get down in here and figure out what needs to happen as far as this tube to that tube. So I need to go from here into this guy, and that's what this is for. And this dude is what's curving it, so I'm gonna squeeze that stuff on there. Alright, got that dude in there. That's definitely a dude. Got it clamped down, ready to go on the other reservoir tank part. Alright, got that guy on there pretty good. You can see where it's hitting the thing here. Not a big deal. This hose is actually right there because that's exactly where I'm going to cut it. Just got to get a crimp on there, and then or mark it, crimp it, put it on there. So it's just about to mark the hose when I was pushing it back to see exactly where I wanted it, and I wanted to see from the inside. And I thought to myself, if I keep it nice and tucked up, not that you need to be right side up. Well, it's more lighting if you're upside down. Not that I need to keep it tucked up, but I don't know what's going to go there in the future. Sorry. It's considery. I don't know what's going to go there in the future or whatever, but I want a tucked up thing, and I decided I was going to just throw one of those guys in there. I'm going to drill a hole and do my favorite tool in the world. I got that guy on there a little higher up than I wanted. I wanted it more flush, but it's fine where it is. The reason I couldn't is because there are spot welds where I wanted to do it, and on the other side it's double thickness right there. So unfortunately a riv nut would not work. but it worked right there. So that's good. Now I can finally got it right where I want it here. So I'm just gonna get it marked off, cut it, clamp it, and see you in a second. All right, there we go. I had to bail on the lower hose clamp because I only have a size too big. It says 5/8, but it absolutely will not go over the barb there. So anyways, went through, put some cloth tape on there, and then I cut up a slice of this tubing here and put that on there, and wrapped it with a little more cloth tape. Can put a little bit more on the edges there, but that'll be that for that. And then I'm going to continue on with these guys because I bought, sitting up there, currently a bunch of big sizes. So now I'm going to finish putting the braces on, building these little guys for this dude. I should probably plug this guy back in before I start doing that though. I just remembered I still need to go get a little O-ring for that dude before I can or want to put it back on there. But I still can do some hangers here, so I'm going to continue on with that. And so now I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, working on 5 right here. And I wanted to get some of this heavy duty tubing I got off of coolant, the lower coolant line on the D16 for chafing gear. So I'm going to cut this in half, put it on there, and then do some cloth taping like a crazy man. I'm going to cloth tape a little bit first. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfy here. And then add that guy, and then add that dude, and then add some more wire. I got plenty of cloth tape going in there. This guy's going in here. I'm going to do the overlap so that it's double rubber. Not very much, but it'll be a little bit of double rubber on the bottom piece here. Right there is where the overlap's going to be for all the bouncing up and down. Alright, that one's on there. I don't think that's going anywhere. It ain't touching nothing. Hanging up there good. That actually worked out better than I thought it would. Had to bend it a little bit. I didn't have to, but I wanted to just to be safe. Just bent it up. I don't think anybody will ever call me out on that one. Now for the interesting one, where I'm not sure if I should. I think I want to reroute these up through there, but I'm not sure if I can or if it has to be down low. Either way, I need to figure out one more and somehow to mount it. I was thinking about maybe something like this right here and keep it back. I don't know. I don't really want to finish that. Tighten anything really down until I have the engine in and the wheels down. I know it sounds weird, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that, which means I think I'm done with the power steering, with the exception of I gotta find a plug for this guy for the return from the cooler. Or the send cooler, I don't remember. But I gotta find a plug for that. Figure out the routing on that, which I'll do later. I need an O-ring for this tip down here. But aside from that, I believe, and the wiring of the thing into the dashboard, and that's all fine and dandy. I guess that puts it into the power steering. I have read a couple of different things on what to use. I mean, I have a bunch of OEM Honda power steering fluid. I think I have another one more of these somewhere back in there. But pretty sure I'm going to be end up using that. And so it's coming along quite nicely. Oh, that's nice. It's nice that it's symmetrical too, you know. I got both of the things over there. I'll deal with that later. But electronic power steering, kind of tucked. With the engine in there, you can see where that needs to go. I might finish rerouting that a different way. But as far as everything else goes, power steering's done.